So as we're getting ready to launch the gathering, it's been on my heart to kind of saturate it before we even do the first official meeting, to saturate the whole thing in prayer and fasting. A lot of what God does starts with prayer and fasting, whether it's Moses getting the 10 Commandments, or Esther stepping up to save her people, Nehemiah going to rebuild the wall, Jesus starting his ministry. A lot of these things start with a season of prayer and fasting, and so I want to do that with you. But I realize for some of us, it's not a familiar thing that we do. It's not part of our normal routine and rhythm, and sometimes that can be intimidating, or just the unfamiliarity makes us shy away from it. So I wanted to take a few minutes and go over some key foundational principles that'll hopefully help you really engage with prayer and fasting and really meet God in the process of it. So think about Jesus when he starts his ministry. He starts with 40 days of prayer and fasting, and then the devil comes at the end of it and tempts him to turn stones into bread. And Jesus answers him with something really fascinating. He says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." And he's actually quoting Deuteronomy 8, verse 3, where God's talking with Israel after their 40 years in the wilderness, kind of their fasting time. And he says to them, "I led you these 40 years and humbled you and let you be hungry to test what's in your heart, so that you would know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." So here's kind of the core principle. The main goal behind fasting is God uses it to show us what's in our heart and to teach us that we don't live by fulfilling our own desires, but we find life in relying on Him to give us life, to fulfill us Himself. Satisfaction doesn't come from a full stomach, it comes from a full heart. We get it not from comforting ourselves with our comfort food, but by going to the God of all comfort. And so as we engage in this season of prayer and fasting, it's not so much to make the launch of the gathering successful, it's to bring us to a place where we're relying more deeply on God than we ever have before, so that His life is what we're really experiencing. His fulfillment is what's overflowing on our lives, and time with Him, nearness with Him, is what satisfies us the most. So as we engage in prayer and fasting, let's seek God together, and let's really develop a hunger for Him.